Yeah, go over there by the window, Mook. Holy cow. It's almost time to get Mookie another scratching post. Man, he can go through them. Anyhow, good afternoon, everybody. Spokane Steve here, and it's time once again for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. Today it's Boston at Detroit. Detroit trying to get squared away. They come in on a 6-game skid. I have a feeling, though, that just a hunch it's going to be an explosive day for the Detroit offense, partly because Bob Sadowski will be the starting pitcher for the Red Sox. Mickey Lolich, the lefty, on the mound for the Tigers. Let's look inside the numbers. First, let's take a quick look at Frank's pre-play. The Red Sox won 7-5. Yeah, I don't know. I just have a feeling. I know, Ben, I did that. I was entering the... I'll flip it over. I was entering this box score yesterday and I spilled some food on it. So I guess the moral of the story there is, if there's a mess to be made, I can make it. I'll tell you what, now you've got me diving down the rabbit hole here. When I was in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s, I was working night crew at Alpha Beta supermarkets. Most will not remember them, but anyway, they've been out of business for years. Decades, really. And there was a coffee shop called the Bashful Bagel in Costa Mesa that we often went to have breakfast after we got off work. And we had one regular waitress that we used to kid around with quite a bit. And when she came to pick up the plate, she would look at my mess and say, "I can always tell where you were sitting." Yes, Ben, it's coffee time, unless it's happy hour back east. Definitely time for a beverage of some sort, don't you think? Let's look at the numbers. For Sadowski, this is just his third start, of course, a computer-only card. He's 1-1 with a 5.14 ERA. Sadowski would go on to make, let's take a look, 2 more starts after this one. Lolich, 6-3 with a solid 3.59 ERA, 11 starts, 3 complete games, including a shutout. Nice hits to innings as well, 67 hits in 77 2/3 innings. I got back in the gym for the first time since my vacation this morning. Definitely feeling the effects of that. On the positive side, it's good to get back on the horse. Oh, I took it easy. Toes in the water and all that, you know. Let's not get... Try not to do too much the first day. I know better, especially at my age. So Lolich and Sadowski. Boston won their last game. This is the first of a 3-game set. Here's the lineup for the Red Sox. And apparently, Billy Herman was into something to drink too, because he's got Petrocelli at third base again, leading off with Foy at shortstop. George Thomas bats second in center field. Carl Yastrzemski in left field, hitting third, of course. George Scott is at first base. Joe Foy at shortstop, 5E88. Tony Conigliaro is in right. George Smith at second base. Crowd favorite Mike Ryan at catcher. And Sadowski, the pitcher, hits ninth. Talking about Frank's pre-play, in real life, 2-1 Tigers. You can see that down there. Frankly, I don't expect this game to resemble either one of those, but we'll see what happens. That's true, Frank, and welcome. Yeah, that's what I always say when we have the smoke here. I'm thankful to see the rain. Oh, that was on inside pitch. Thank you, Frank. I just assumed you did all of these on Strat. I hate AQA. Well, we may as well get started. It's 1:31. Time for actually a minute past scheduled first pitch. Lola's ready to work. Here's Rico Petrocelli hitting .261, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs. Petrocelli into the windup, and here we go on a 6-4 right-handed. He grounds it to third base X. That's the ever-dependable Don Wirt at 2E13. And on a 3, he makes the diving stop at the line to his feet. Long throw across in time to nail Petrocelli. Oh my goodness, and the game starts off with a web jam. Wirt was a fine fielder. I think he might have captured some gold gloves had he not played at the same time as the great Brooks Robinson, of course. That'll bring up George Thomas. Thomas in center today, hitting just .214, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. Lowick into the windup now, and that's a 6-11 right-handed. That's swung on and missed strike 3. I got thrown there a little bit by the split result, but it's a strikeout. 2 down, and here's Yastrzemski. Carl Yastrzemski at .282, 7 home runs, 24 RBIs. The left-hander winds and deals on a 5-9. Grounder to short X. That's going to be a tough chance for McAuliffe, 3E28. McAuliffe into the hole. Here's the play on a 16, and he's got it. Throws across for the out, and the side is retired. 2 X plays and a strikeout. 1-2-3 goes the Red Sox in the first. After half, it's Boston nothing, Detroit coming to bat against Bob Sadowski. Hello, unmitigated Gall, and welcome into Danport. How's everybody doing this afternoon? It cooled a little bit here, too. 73, partly cloudy. Very pleasant. You know, I've heard about those unmitigated. Of course, I've never been there. Exactly. Here's the Detroit lineup. Dick McAuliffe leads off at shortstop. Jerry Lumpy at second base. Norm Cash at first base. Al Kaline in center field again, hitting cleanup. Jim Northrup is in right. Willie Horton in left. Bill Freehan, the catcher, hit 7th. Don Wirt, the third baseman. And Lolich, the pitcher, rounds out the lineup. So here's McAuliffe facing Sadowski. McAuliffe comes in at, where is he? Oh, wow, hitting just .214, but he does have 32 walks, which ranks among the league leaders. He's scored 22 runs. 6 home runs, 15 RBIs from McAuliffe, left-handed batter. Sadowski with the windup down the pitch on a 5-9 as a grounder down to first base, fielded by Scott. He flips it to Sadowski for the out. One down, the batter is Jerry Lumpy. Lumpy hitting .238, 2 homers, 11 RBIs. Oh, that's cool, Frank. You talk to Mike often? Be sure to tell him hello for me. Sadowski gets the sign. The Pistol Lumpy is a 5-4 left-handed. That's catcher's card X. That's going to be Ryan. Ryan, a good catcher, 2E3. On a 19, that will be a foul out to Ryan, and that's 2 down. One thing I don't like about the advanced fielding chart is the catcher section. But to me, it's just not worth the hassle of going to super advanced fielding. Norm Cash will be the hitter with 2 down. Cash at 258, 10 home runs, 24 RBIs. Sadowski into the windup. That's going to be a 6'10 left-hander. Fly to center field X. Tough chance for Thomas. 2E11 ranging to his right. On a 2, he's not going to get it. That drops in for a base hit. That would have been a tough chance for anyone, as I like to say. Meaning only a 1 could have made the play. So Cash aboard with a 2-out single, and here's Al Kaline. Kaline, the leading hitter on the club at 326. 8 home runs, 29 RBIs. Cash takes his lead. Sadowski out of the stretch, comes in with a 6'2 right-handed. It's a fly to left field X. That's the Gold Glover Yastrzemski. A lot of X plays in this one so far. Yeah, it's a 1E6. It's a 9. That'll be the error range. It's an 11 on an E6. This could be trouble. He makes a fine running catch for the out. Nice play, Yastrzemski, to end the inning. Wow, 4 X plays already. No runs a hit, 1 left. And we are scoreless after an inning. Yeah, I don't know how they do that, man. I tried it once when I was younger. Not for me. Of course, I smoked for many, many years. That was the reason I tried chew. I thought maybe it would wean me off of the cigarettes. Didn't work. Only thing that ever did work was vaping. Go to the second inning. George Scott will start things off for Boston. Scott at 258, 11 home runs, and a team-leading 30 RBIs. Lolich into the windup. Pitches a 6'8 right-handed, and that is banged into left field. Base hit, triple to 4. He will hold with the long single. And here comes the Moog. Scott aboard. Here's Foy. Foy, the leading hitter on the club at 299. 8 homers, 18 RBIs. Lolich from the stretch. The pitch to Foy is a 2-6. Swung on, and 2-6 lefty is a walk. He walks him, and the first 2 Red Sox reach here in the second. So Lolich in a bit of a jam here. First and second, nobody out. Tony Canigliaro due up. George Smith on deck. Yikes. Oh, I thought that was common knowledge by now. Yes. I knew that without reading the book. Tony C. hitting 229, 7 homers, 26 RBIs. Lolich checks the runners. Now comes set on a 1-2 lefty. Canigliaro bangs one into right field for a base hit. Scott rounding. Northrup a -1 arm. Scott 13-12 with nobody out. They're going to hold him up and the bases will be loaded. So Lolich in a real jam here in the second. Bases loaded, nobody out. And George Smith the hitter. Smith on the season at .254, 3 homers, 16 RBIs, infield back. Lolich trying to get a ground ball here. They will gladly trade a run for 2 outs. Here's the pitch on a 6-6 righty. He walks him to force in a run. Well, Lolich really struggling this inning, and that's going to send Freehan out to the mound. The scoring is Scott. RBI for Smith. Foy to third. Canigliaro to second. As 4 straight Boston Red Sox reach here in the second. And now here's the catcher, Mike Ryan. Ryan's in there for his glove, of course, hitting just .171. Infield remains back, and Lorich's pitch is a 2-7 lefty. Called strike 3. So Ryan is rung up by home plate umpire John Rice. I don't remember John Rice. How about any of you? Sadowski, a 1R, weak, and a C bunter. He's going to swing away. Infield back. It's a 1-5. Struck him out. So Lolich trying to get out of this jam without allowing a run now. He's got to get Petrocelli. Petrocelli with the bases loaded. Lolich checks the runners. Here's the pitch to Rico. It's a 5-7. At least 2 runs will score. That's banged into left center. Double to 7. And it will be a 2-run double for Petrocelli, and the Red Sox take the lead. Canigliaro scores, Foy scores, Canigliaro scores, Smith stops at third on the double. Lolich almost wiggled out of it. 2 runs are in, and here's Thomas. Thomas struck out in the first. Lolich checks the runners. Now the windup on the pitch on a 3-6. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Backing up his horse at the track, at the wall. He makes the catch at the wall. Take another look at that. 3-6 homer to 11. On a 13, it's just a loud out to left, and that will do it. But the Red Sox plate 3 on 3 hits and leave a pair. So Bob Sadowski takes the mound for the bottom of the inning, staked to a 3-run lead. Here's Northrup now hitting .264, 6 homers, 21 RBIs. Sadowski into the windup. 2-6 right-handed. It's a fly to right field, playable for Canigliaro, and there's 1 down. Sadowski rated 6 for endurance. Just in case you were wondering. Hello, Franklin. Here's Willie Horton now. Horton batting .317 with a team leading 14 home runs and a team leading 34 RBIs. Sadowski gets the sign from Ryan. Here's the pitch on a 4-8 right-handed base hit up the middle. 1-out single for Horton. Horton's been on fire. And you might notice he started to play more frequently lately. Let's see how many at-bats he had in real life. 526. So yeah, we'll be seeing a lot of Willie Horton from this point on. At the start of the season, he wasn't playing all the time, which I remember thinking that was rather odd. Runner at first, one down. Here's Bill Freehan. Freehan just 199 average, 4 homers, 14 RBIs. We've got quite a few Tiger fans here. I'm well aware of that. And apparently we can add unmitigated to that list, huh? I had a dog named Mickey when I was a little boy. Although I'm not honestly sure who my Mickey was named after. But it was the only pet I ever had with a middle name. Yeah, it was Mickey Miguel. I was probably only about 5 or so when that dog died. I still remember it, though. Coyote or a wolf got him. He was a black and white Chihuahua. The pitch to Freeman. 5-3 right-handed. It's a grounder to the pitcher, X. Sadowski, not a good fielder. 4E51. Here's the play. On a 15, it's the error range. A 5 on a 51, you can forget about that. That's off his glove for an error. First error of the game. Horton takes second. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Don Wirt. Wirt hitting just .237, 5 homers, 15 RBIs. Oh, hell. And I'll bet 70% we're doing it in the 90s, at least. Hello, Colin Merritt. I don't recognize the name. Do we have a new face in the chat? If so, don't forget to subscribe, Colin, and welcome in. Great group of guys here. If you've been here before, I'm going to blame that on my age-appropriate memory, of course. Here's the pitch to Wirt. It's going to be a 5-5 righty. It's a base hit. I'm going to have to look at the card on the computer now. It doesn't say whether it's a 2-star single or not. It is. 2-star single for Wirt. That'll score Horton to make the score 3-1. The third goes Bill Freehan. And here come the Tigers. 3-1, 1 down, runners at the corners. Lolich the hitter. Mickey Lolich, a switch hitter, of course. He'll hit lefty against Sadowski. He's also a C bunter. Not much speed at third, however. He's going to swing away. The pitch is a 5-2. That is, he's a weak. A single to 10. Fly ball to right. He gets it just barely. It's a single. 2-star single. And it's a 3-2 game as Freehan crosses the plate. So Lolich helping himself out there with the bat. Wirt to third. And as Frank said, the fireworks have just begun. Top of the order, Dick McAuliffe. Unmitigated with a trivia question. How many career homers did Mickey Lolich have? You know, I have no idea. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate it. Runners at the corners. How are they going to play it now? In a 3-2 game, I'm going to roll the die for in or back. 1-3, it's in. It will be back. playing for the double play. Sadowski set from the stretch. The pitch to McAuliffe is a 4-6 left-handed. Pop out, first base. Scott takes it. That's a big out for Sadowski. It'll be up to Jerry Lumpy now. 3-2, 2 down, runners at the corners. Sadowski from the stretch. It's a 5-8 left-handed grounder, second base X. Tough chance for Smith. Smith a 2E28. Ranging to his left on a 20. He's there. Throws to Scott, and the side is retired. And the Tigers settle for a pair on 3 hits and leave 2. 2 innings in the books. It's 3-2 Sox. There's one of the scoring in this game a long way from over, I have a feeling. Two good offensive clubs here. Boston hitting 243 as a team, so not much on the batting average, but they do have 47 home runs. The Tigers 250 with 65 home runs. And we move along to the third. Carl Yastrzemski will start things off. It's the heart of the order for the Red Sox. Lolich into the windup. On a 1-2 lefty, he bangs that into right center. That's going to roll to the wall. Triple to a 1. He will hold with a double. As Northrop gets it back in. It's a leadoff double for Carl Yastrzemski. They'll bring up the cleanup man, George Scott. Scott singled his first time up. Lolich gets his sign now. Here's the pitch to Scott. It's a 6-9 right-handed, high and deep to left center. Kaline and Horton converging at the wall, and it's off the wall for a double. Yastrzemski rounding Hill's score. Scott pulls up at second with the RBI double, and it's 4-2 Red Sox. So Lolich being roughed up a little bit today, making me wonder just how long Swift is going to stick with him. Joe Foy is the hitter. And the answer is 1. The 1 in the 68 series. How about that? And welcome into Al, by the way. Yes, the San Francisco treat. I don't think any of us will ever forget that jingle, will we? Lolich checks the runner now. The pitch to Foy. It's going to be a 4-12 righty. High fly ball to deep left field. Horton backing up on the track hauls it in. They're hitting some balls hard off of Lolich here. Here's Conegliaro. Tony C. singled his first time up. Here's the pitch from Lolich. That's a 3-10 left-handed. That's going to be for extra bases. Over Horton's head, a triple on a 1. It's a double, the third double of the inning. And that will drive in Scott and make the score 5-2. And now we have early action in the Detroit pen. Right-hander Fred Gladding throwing down there. I don't remember that one, Ben. You know, I like the rice peel-off one. I'll usually buy some of that if I'm having fish. Okay, here's Smith. meeting on the mound is broken up by the home plate umpire. Lolich ready to work now. Here's the pitch to George Smith. It's a 3-11 lefty. Grounder down to first base. Cash will feed Lolich covering. I believe the runner advances on that. He does. Nope. Hang on. Let me double check that. Grounder to first base B. With the runner at second. Yep, he does. I'm going to write it as a C. That's just so I remember to move the runner when I'm entering the game. But it was a ground ball B. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I do remember that one. 2 down. Here's Ryan. Lolich trying to get out of the inning. Here's the pitch to the catcher. It's a 5-3 fly to right field X. That'll be a tough chance for Northrup. A 4-E-7 ranging towards the line. Here's the play on a 20. He makes a nice running catch for the out. How about that? Not many outs in that 4 column for outfielders, corner outfielders. But Northrup makes a fine play and the side is retired. 2 runs for the Sox on 3 hits they leave him in. In a wild one, it's 5-2. So far, Bob Sadowski hanging in there. Heart of the order due for the Tigers. Cash singled his first time up. Here's the pitch from Sadowski. That's going to be a 4-4 left-handed. Fly to right field and shallow. On comes Canigliaro to make the play. Oh, Dave with baseball demos Dave. Yes, indeed. I catch his stuff when I can. Not as often as I should. For some reason in the evening I get busy doing things, or I'm watching MLB. Al Kaline is the hitter. Sadowski into the windup. Pitches a 1-8 right-handed. That is a single to 12. Liner towards third. And through into left field for a hit. 1 out single for Kaline. Let's check the battery now. It's a 0 for Sadowski. 0 for Ryan. So Kaline 13 not being held. Trailing by 3, probably not. Jim Northrup at the plate. Sadowski working from the stretch. The pitch is a 2-6 right-handed. He lifts it to right field. Playable for Canigliaro for his 3rd put out of the day. And that'll leave it up to Willie Horton. Horton singled his first time up. Sadowski from the stretch. It's a 6-8 right-handed fly ball B. Doesn't say to what field. Let's see if the computer can shed any light on that. We're going to say it's to left field in this case. It's an out either way and the side is retired. So 3 innings in the books. It's 5-2 Red Sox. Sadowski looking surprisingly good out there today. Lolich has had his problems. I'm going to need some more coffee early in this one. Here's Sadowski now, a right-handed hitter. Lolich with a 4-5 righty, swung on and missed strike 3. Let's see if Lolich can settle down a little bit in the 4th here. If not, he may not be long for this game. Top of the order and Petrocelli. Lolich gets the sign from Freehand. That's going to be a 5-9 righty. It's a grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be McAuliffe, a 328. Charging the slow roller. On a 1, he can't get it. It's a single. It would have taken a 1 to make that play. 7th Boston hit against Lolich. We're only in the 4th. George Thomas, the hitter. Holy smoke. Thomas 0 for 2. Lolich out of the stretch. That's going to be a 212, and he walks him, and somebody's at the door.
I'm gonna grab the screen. Is it this one out here on the bedroom? Okay, I'm gonna grab that and I'll just screen it up and put it back for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if you could hear that or not, but it's good news. Looks like quite a delay on my screen compared to live. All right, I'm going to get the coffee now since we're in a delay anyway. First and second, 1 out. They're going to let him pitch to Yastrzemski. Exactly, Franklin. Mookie's escape route is about to come to an end. Yaz 1 for 2 with a double. Lolich struggling, settles in, and the pitch is going to be a 210 lefty. Pop up right side. Cash will take it. And there's 2 down. Now they'll let him pitch to Scott. I'm about 50-50 on this one, but he is due to bat third in the bottom of the 4th. Scott 2 hits today. Lolich, the windup and the pitch. It's a 5-9 grounder to shortstop X. Another chance for McAuliffe, 328. McAuliffe's been busy on a 6. He makes a fine play and throws him out, taking a possible base hit away from George Scott. And that will do it. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And most likely, that will be the end of the day for Lolich. Well, we have so many Tiger fans here, why not ask? You have some time to think about this. Would you hit for Lolich in the bottom of the 4th? Seems a bit early to me, especially for the 60s. On the other hand, he doesn't appear to have much going on today. Freehand worked in the pitcher's spot as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Bill Freehand reached on an error and scored in the 2nd. Sadowski into the windup. The pitch to Freehand is a 4-8 right-handed. Base hit up the middle. It's a leadoff single for Freehand. Here's Wirt. He singled his first time up. pitch to Wirt. It's a 5-9 righty. That's a base hit. That's going to be a 2-star single, freehand to third. That does make the decision a little bit easier. Excuse me. Lolich is going to come to bat. Left-handed hitter. He squares to bunt. He's a C on a 10. And they get the lead runner going from first to second. In this case, the lead runner is Wirt, since freehand wasn't trying to go anywhere anyway. It was not a squeeze. It was a straight sack. So that's going to be a 1-4 force. Wirt is erased. Freehand holds at third. So Lolich not only pitching poorly today, he's unable to get the bunt down. Yes, I agree with everyone here. It's too early to take out a pitcher of Lolich's stature. The great ones can often overcome those bad innings and settle down. Here's McAuliffe, 0 for 2. Infield at double play depth. Sadowski out of the stretch now. It's a 2-9 righty. Called strike 3. Oh, McAuliffe is furious. John Rice says, "Take a seat, Dick." It'll be up to Lumpy. Lumpy 0 for 2. Sadowski with the pitch. That's a 6-6 left-handed. That's a 2-star single into right. That'll get a run in. Freehand scores easily. All the way to third goes Lolich. And it's 5-3. Now there's some action down in the Boston pen. Dennis Bennett, the lefty, is joined by Bucky Brandon, a right-hander. Cash 1 for 2. 2 down, runners at the corners. Pitch from Sadowski is a 6-9 left-handed. That's a fly to left field and playable. Yastrzemski is there, and that will end the inning. Tigers settle for a run on 3 hits, leave 2. And after 4 innings, it is 5-3 Red Sox. Well, Frank, I'll be watching, and you know I'll be rooting for Clayton. He looked good last time against the Mets before the rain cut his outing to 2 innings. All right, let's see how Lolich fares as we go to the 5th. We chose to leave him in. Still anybody's game. It's early. Lolich facing Foy now. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a 4-12. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Horton backs up on the track, pulls it in. Foy has hit a couple of hard balls against Lolich with nothing to show for it, and here's Canigliaro, who has 2 hits. The pitch from Lolich is a 1-7 lefty. Grounder down to third. Wirt will take it. Throws across in time. 2 down, and here's Smith. Smith 0 for 1 with a walk. Pitch from Lolich is a 2-9, grounder to shortstop. McAuliffe charging it on the run, throws him out, and how about that? A 1-2-3 inning for Lolich. Lolich settles down, as many thought he might. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Hang on a second, I gotta see if that's the maintenance or if that's Mookie. Okay, it's the maintenance. Just wanted to check on Mookie. Make sure he wasn't trying to pull a Houdini on me here. It'll be Kaline, Northrup, and Horton in the bottom of the 5th. Kaline standing in 1 for 2 on the day. Sadowski ready to go to work. Here's the windup on the pitch to Kaline on a 280. Bangs that into left center. Over to cut it off is Thomas. Double to 3. He will hold with the long single, and Kaline has his second hit of the afternoon. That'll bring up Northrup. Northrup flew to right both times. Sadowski set now from the stretch. It's going to be a 3-7 righty. It's a fly ball to straightaway center. Backing up a bit is George Thomas to make the play. That'll bring up Willie Horton. Horton's 1 for 2. It's a dad joke. Sure it is. Sadowski out of the stretch now. That's a 4-3 right-handed. Fly to right field X. Tough chance for Tony Conigliaro. He's a 3-8 ranging towards the line. Big play here on a 19. He makes a nice running catch to rob Horton of a base hit. A nice play by Conigliaro. His 4th put out of the day. A lot of balls going out to right field today in Detroit. And it will be up to Freehan. Sadowski staring in. From the stretch, it's a 1-4 righty, and he loses him ball 4. That's going to send Ryan out to the mound. Where is Michael today? Yeah, he's missing one of his favorite players. They're going to let him pitch to Freehan. Rated 6 for endurance, so that's not an issue. Freehan 2 for 2. First and second, 2 down. Here's the pitch. 3-7 righty. Fly ball to left and playable. Yastrzemski's there, and that will do it. And the Tigers strand a pair. 5 innings in the books. It's still 5-3. Tigers were in contention before the 6-game losing streak. Trying to get it together. For Boston, it's pretty much been a season-long struggle so far. And now we're into the 6th, the first endurance inning for both starting pitchers. Kind of surprises me that Lolich is a 6. This was not Lolich's best year. This was an off year for Lolich in real life. It's going to be Ryan, the pitcher's spot, and Petroselli. Lolich into the windup. The pitch to Mike Ryan's a 4-8 right-handed. That is lined towards third. Single to 16. He's got himself a leadoff single. Okay, when Mike Ryan's hitting you, maybe time to get Gladding up again. Infield pulled in. Sadowski will lay it down as a D. And here's the bunt. It's a 6D. Successful sacrifice advances the runner. I have no problem sacrificing with a D bunter. It's the E that scares the hell out of me. One out, runner in scoring position for the top of the order. Rico Petrocelli, George Thomas to follow. Yeah, that probably was an East Coast thing, I'm guessing, Frank. Never heard of it. Not to say it couldn't have been here under a different name. For example, Hellman's Best Foods, right? Rico 2 for 3. Lolich checks the runner. Now comes to the plate 4-5. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Lolich. And it will be up to George Thomas. Thomas 0 for 2 with a walk. Lolich pitches a 3-8 left-handed little comebacker to Lolich. Lolich has it. Tosses it to Cash, and the side is retired. So Lolich has settled down nicely since the second. We go to the bottom of the sixth, still 5-3. First endurance inning, of course, for Sadowski as well. Bennett and Brandon both ready. As much as I would like to see the Tigers win this game, well, you guys know me, I don't have to say it. I'll play it as impartial as possible. Except Wirt is not leading off. He made the last out. Fifth inning, though. Now do you bat for him? Now he's settled down, making it even a tougher decision. They're going to hit for him. He gave him 6 innings. That's his endurance rating. You got to be happy with that if you're Detroit. So in his 6 innings today, 3, 6, 7, 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and it will be Gladding, the next pitcher. Let's see who the batter is going to be against Sadowski. It's going to be the left-handed hitting outfielder, Jim Gosker. No, wait, that's the wrong team. You know what threw me? On the top of the stack was Demeter, and it says Boston. Demeter is still on the Tigers. Early for Gates Brown. It might be Demeter. Could be Jake Wood. Let me take a moment to look at the numbers here. I'm going to go with Jake Wood. Cards are not that far off. I just feel like Demeter hasn't done anything for such a long time. Pretty good card, though. I imagine he'll get it sorted out eventually. Wood hitting .297, mostly off the bench. Sadowski into the windup now. The pitch to Wood is a 6-7 righty fly ball B to center field, we're going to call it. It doesn't say. You can put anything there. And Wood is retired. That'll bring up McAuliffe. Dick 0 for 3 today. Sadowski set. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 4-7 ground ball A. It does not say where it's hit. We're going to say it's second base to Smith. 4-3, 2 down. That's the funny thing about these computer-only cards. 2 down, here's Lumpy. Sadowski into the windup. It's a 2-7 righty. It's a slow roller to short. Foy on the run, charges it and throws him out. And Sadowski with a 1-2-3 sixth. Well, nobody's more surprised than me at Bob Sadowski today. I really thought he was going to get blown off the mound. He's pitched a solid 6 innings. Here's Gladding now as we go to the 7th. Gladding an up and down season in 21 appearances, 3-3 with a save, but ERA a bit high at 4.97. 19 hits in 25 and a third innings, but he's walked 15. The base on balls has been the bugaboo for Fred Gladding. Yastrzemski will lead it off. I only drank Coors as a kid. That was my dad's beer of choice. Once I was old enough to get my own without stealing his, I never drank it again. Yaz standing in from the left side, Gladding delivers. That's going to be a 5-9 left-handed grounder to short X. McAuliffe's been busy today. 328, ranges into the hole. On a 19, he's there and throws him out. Nice play, McAuliffe, to throw out Yastrzemski. And that will bring up the first baseman, George Scott. Scott 2 for 3 today as Gladding goes into the windup. The pitch is a 6-8 right-handed, and he loses him ball 4. And there it is, the base on balls. That's been Gladding's trouble all season so far. And batting now is the shortstop, Foy. 0 for 2 with a walk. Gladding out of the stretch. Pitch to Foy is a 5-10 right-hander. It's a grounder to short X. McAuliffe again. This could be 2. 328. On a 6, he's got it, but his only play is to first, and the runner will advance. 6-3X on a C. That puts Scott at second with 2 down. And here's Tony Canigliaro. Tony C 2 for 3 today. RBI double back in the 3rd. Gladding, I'm sorry. I was mistaken. It was thank you, unmitigated. It was Olympia that was my dad's beer of choice. I didn't care for either one of them. I'm just going to be honest. Gladding's pitch to Canigliaro is a 6-5 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3, and he gets out of it. No runs, no hits, a man left as we stretch. It's 5-3 Red Sox. Sadowski will start the bottom of the inning with a very short leash. Honestly, I'm tempted to pull him now, but the way he's pitched, we owe it to him to give him at least another batter. And now we're going to fire up the... Oh, there he is. We don't have to go far today for the Mookie cam. Ha ha! There he is. Let's go around. Say hello. Yeah? I wonder if he's pissed now because the screen is fixed. He can't sneak out anymore. He can always go to work on this one. This one has some issues here. Right here it's starting to come loose, so that'll probably be his next target, I suppose. Now he's up. Holy cow. Mook, what are you doing? Where are you going? Do you want your fountain turned on? I forgot to turn that on this morning. Check this out. Is this cat spoiled or what? And yet he still prefers to drink from that glass. That used to be my glass holder. That's Mookie's glass now. As I often say, oh, the life of a cat. Yeah, he is, Dan. He's having his own little stretch there. When I was young, it was Miller High Life. For obvious reasons. But I would drink pretty much anything. Drank a lot of Bud too, because as you say, you could always get it. Always had it on tap, and often on a special price too. There you go, Dan, exactly. I know, Michael. That's one of those projects that I never seem to get around to. I want to get those 3 VHS tapes transferred onto digital somehow. Costco used to do it, but they don't do it anymore. And I don't have a card anyway, but I know people that do, so I could get in. Anyway, enough of that. Back to the game at hand. It's 5-3 Red Sox. Heart of the order here. Sadowski on a short leash as he goes into the windup, and the pitch to Cash is a 4-9 grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Foy, the 588. Here's the play on a 3. There's no way he gets to that. That's a base hit. Would have taken a 1 or a 2 to get to that, and with that base hit, here comes Billy Herman, and that's going to do it for Sadowski. A good start for Sadowski, especially for that card. He gave up quite a few hits, though. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 hits. Just 3 runs so far. Walked only 1. And struck out only 1. Right, left, right. They're going to go to Bucky Brandon. So Brandon jogging in, runner on first, nobody out here in the 7th. Brandon with a pretty good card, but the results haven't been there. 1-2 with 1 save, 4.71 so far. And Mike saves the day with the double switch. That's exactly what we're going to do. Let's see, I'd like to do it at third or short. Eddie Casco is going to come in the double switch in the 9 spot. He'll play third base. We'll put the pitcher, Brandon, in the 5 spot. Casco at third, a 3-11. 11 runner, and we'll move Petrocelli to his more comfortable shortstop, 238. Let's go. So in Foy's spot goes the pitcher's hitting card. So Foy was basically punished for giving up that single off of his 5. He's pulled out of the game with a double switch. That's kind of funny, actually. Tigers' best hitter coming up. That's Al Kaline. 2 for 3 on the day. Bucky Brandon ready to go to work now. And hello, Chuck. Pitch to Kaline is a 6-7 right-handed, and he walks him. Suddenly, the Tigers are in business as they have the tying runs aboard here in the bottom of the 7th. Jim Northrup, the hitter, Willie Horton to follow. Nobody out. I would have blown it again unmitigated. Thank you to Mike for the assist there. Runners take their lead. Bucky Brandon out of the stretch. Pitch to Northrup on a 1-7. That's banged into right center. That's going to plate at least one. Double 2-11, and he's going to have himself a double. Stopping at third is Kaline. It's 5-4. That'll bring up Willie Horton. It's a bugaboo of mine, Chuck. I can't seem to remember it. It's not that I don't like to do it. But fortunately, we have Mike and others. Infield will come in now. Second and third, nobody out. Brandon's pitch to Willie Horton. That's going to be a 3-7 right-handed. Base hit into left field. That's going to tie the ball game. Northrup rounding. 13. Yastrzemski, however, with a -3 gun, they're going to hold him up. Give Horton the RBI. RBI number 35 for Horton. And Brandon is not retired a batter. 2 more righties. Boston. Brandon is really the best option here. Freehan has been on base all 3 times, once on an error, singled, and walked. Infield remains in. Brandon's pitch to Freehan is a 4-7 right-handed. It's a flight of center field. That's going to be deep enough to get the run in. Thomas makes the catch. Northrop tags and scores, and the Tigers take the lead, and the crowd goes crazy. Three runs in the seventh. It is 6-5 Tigers. Don Wirt the hitter. Wirt 2 for 3 today. Brandon out of the stretch. That is a 3-10 right-handed. Hard smash to third. It's going to be Casco to Smith to Scott. Double play. So Casco, inserted in the double switch, makes a fine play to start the double play to end the inning. But the Tigers take the lead with 3 runs on 3 hits and leave a man. Actually, no, they left no one. Erased on the double play. Through 7 innings, it is 6-5 Tigers. Gladding takes the mound for the 8th as Larry Sherry takes the jacket off in the pen. Holy crap, what a game. How many knew that playing Foy at shortstop was going to bite him at some point? Oh, it had to, right? There's no way in hell I would ever play a 5 at a middle infield position. George Smith will lead off the 8th. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Gladding into the windup. It's going to be a 1-4 righty, and that is hard hit into left center. High fly ball. Homer on a 1. It's off the wall for extra bases. Smith coasts in with a leadoff double. And here come the Sox. Ryan 1 for 3. Gladding gets his sign. 5-8 right-handed grounder down to third base. Wirt has it, looks the runner back, and throws him out. That'll bring up Eddie Casco. Now playing third base, came in that double switch. Gladding pitch to Casco. It's a 6-9 right-handed. That's a liner towards third. Single to 18. He's got himself an infield hit. Stopping at third is Smith. So Wirt able to knock it down, but he had no play. And Boston threatening in the top of the 8th. Runners at the corners 1 away, and the top of the order coming up. 1 more hit or walk will fatigue Gladding. Larry Sherry is ready. That would require a double switch. Hey, I saw it this time. Yeah, right, Franklin. I can see Billy Herman now. Well, nobody told me he was a 5. Infield at double play depth. No, they can't do that. That's the tying run at third base. Infield's got to be in. Petrocelli hits into very few ground ball A's anyway. Gladding from the stretch. Pitches a 5-4 right-handed. It's catcher's card X. That's going to be the Gold Glover Freehand. Freehand a 1E2. Big play on an 18. It's a foul out to the catcher and runners hold. That's a huge out. Now the infield can move back for George Thomas. Thomas 0 for 3 with a walk today. Gladding gets the sign. The pitch to Thomas is a 2-4. Fly to center. Playable. K-line is there. And Gladding strands them. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Tigers looking for some insurance as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And they will send up a pinch hitter for Gladding, as Sherry is going to come on in the 9th anyway. So 2 innings for Gladding. He did a good job. 2 hits, no runs, a walk, 1 strikeout. Hang on a second, I've got to think this out. Tigers pinch hit with Gates Brown. There's no way they let Brandon face him. But you've got 3 lefties to follow him anyway. On the other hand, we're going to go with Demeter. Strategy from the Tigers' perspective there is to face Brandon one more batter. You know he's not going to face McAuliffe. That's exactly right, Frank. Brandon's pitch to Don Demeter. That's going to be a 4-5 righty. Fly to center and shallow. On comes Thomas in a hurry. He makes the catch. And now here comes Herman again. He's going to go to the left-hander. The sole left-hander in the Sox pen. Well, Brandon goes 1 1/3. We can close the book on Sadowski. Brandon, 2 hits, 2 runs. 1 walk, no strikeouts. And in comes the lefty, Dennis Bennett. Not the ideal lefty, to be sure. He's a backwards lefty. But he's the only lefty they have. 3 left-handers due up. McAuliffe 0 for 3. Bennett into the windup. On a 4-3 left-handed, it's a fly to right field X. Tough chance for Conigliaro. 3-E-8. Here's the play on a 4. That's going to be past him to the wall for extra bases. McAuliffe headed for second, where he'll hold up with a double. A 1-out double for McAuliffe. That'll bring up Lumpy. Lumpy will face him, I think. Yeah, they don't really have many second base options, really none that are acceptable. Is it 4 for Sadowski? Yep, it is. Thank you, Mike. Oh, that doesn't change Brandon. Never mind. Yes, sir, Ben. It's a big runner out there at second. Bennett checks him. The pitch to Lumpy. 1-7 left-handed. Called strike 3. Lumpy doesn't like it. It will be up to Stormin' Norman. Cash 2 for 4 today. Bennett the lefty comes in there with a 4-6. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So the lefty does his job. No runs, a hit, 1 left, and we go to the 9th. Defense for the Tigers. We're going to get Mickey Stanley in there somewhere. The only question is, who do you take out, Northrup or Horton? I'm going to take out Northrup. That's a hard choice for me because Northrup was another favorite of mine. However, trying to look at it objectively from the Tigers' standpoint, Horton's been swinging the hotter bat of late, just in case they need him in the bottom of the inning. Also, he's in left. You say, well, what difference does that make? Well, because K-Line's going to move to right. Everything else looks good. And on comes Larry Sherry. Sherry has 11 of the team's 12 saves, 1 win, no losses, and a 1.88 ERA so far. Just 16 hits allowed in 29 innings. He has walked 13. Is that what happened in your game, Frank? I guess this would be as good a time as any to thank all you guys for watching. Wild game today. Tigers 6, Red Sox 5, and Sherry will have to navigate the heart of the Boston lineup. Yes, I guess he is. Here's Yastrzemski now, 1 for 4. Sherry gets the sign from Freeman. Here's the pitch to Yaz on a 5-2 left-handed. He lifts it to center field, playable. That's Stanley. Boy, you put him into the game and the ball finds him, doesn't it? Stanley makes the catch, 1 down. Here's Scott, 2 for 3 with a walk. Sherry into the windup. That's going to be a 6-6 righty. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And the Red Sox down to their final out. It's the pitcher's spot. So we'll have a pinch hitter. Let's see who they've got. Really only one guy it can be. It's going to be Dalton Jones. Jones hitting .297 on the season, 1 home run. Jones standing in from the left side. Sherry staring in to get the sign. Here's the windup to pitch to Dalton. It's a 2-3 right-handed. Grounder to first. Cash has it. He'll take it to the bag, and that's the ball game. And the Tigers snap their 6-game losing streak as they hang on to win it 6-5. We'll have the totals here in just a moment. That was a crowd pleaser, to be sure. Always happy to oblige. I have to admit, I didn't want to see him lose 7 in a row either, but I was trying to be as... I think I did everything I could for Boston. I'm happy with it. That's save number 12 for Sherry. Gladding gets the win. Lolich does not get the win. That makes Gladding 4-3 now. He's picked up quite a few decisions in relief. Sadowski Brandon is the loser. He drops to 1-3. Bennett pitched an inning. 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. So the totals are the Tigers 6 runs, 13 hits, no errors. The Red Sox 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. Plus a big X chart single off of Foy that didn't go down as an error, but that play should have been made. Player of the game, any thoughts on that? It's pretty spread out in this one. See, we had Lumpy with an RBI, Northrup an RBI, Horton an RBI, Freehan an RBI, Wirt and Lolich each with 1 RBI. Horton had 2 hits and the big hit. That's a good point, Franklin. Gladding deserves mention. But I think I'm going to go ahead and award it to Willie Horton. What the heck? It's all in fun anyway. The bullpen did the job unmitigated. You're not wrong. Attaboys to Gladding and Sherry for holding them scoreless for 3. No easy feat the way the Red Sox were swinging the bats today. Both teams were swinging the bats. Let's look ahead to tomorrow's game here, and then I'm going to get out of here and get something to eat. It's going to be the Giants at the Astros. That's going to be Ray Sadecki for the Giants, Dave Justy for the Astros. Same time, 1:30/4:30. Hit the like and subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. Well, thank you, Frank. I appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys, man. I truly do. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. Well, I'm hungry, so I'm going to get out of here. Everybody have a great evening, and hopefully I'll catch you all tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.